Hi, Mr. Illich. It's Aussie Villain. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, with a bit of luck, this could be a great season for us. You're right, but well, as I'm sure you're aware, both Otani and Green, their contracts are up at the end of this season, and mate, it would be fantastic if we could re-sign them both. Yes, I know that you wanted to re-sign DeGrom, mate, but he's old. He's old and past it. These guys are in their prime, though. What would it take? About an extra $50 million a year. Hello, Mr. Illich. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to a brand new season of Tigers Baseball. It is season 7 getting underway today. We face the Texas Rangers and well, there is a little bit to catch you up on, but let's have a look at where we are standing as a ball club just now. Now those OSA ratings for our players in key positions there, I mean, that looks terrible. It's not as bad as that, I promise you. I don't think it's as bad as that anyway. It doesn't look good. I mean, Will Klein is not the 30th best closer in Major League Baseball. He's just not. He is much, much better than that. But anyway, let's not care what the game says. You can see here we're going to lose potentially end of the year our 2 best players, which is obviously a massive, massive kick in the testicles. But we've got some really, really good prospects coming through, and I'm gonna I'm gonna take you have a look at that in just a second because we've got decisions to make about what we do with Otani and Green, and well, you can see here the way that the clubhouse looks. The only thing we don't have is a prankster. Lopez, the shortstop, is unmotivated, but everything else there, generally speaking, is quite good. Now, let's go and start by having a look at spring training. And we can see that it did go okay. We had a losing record. We did lose a lot of games early on in spring training, but then as things sort of started to kick into gear, we did do quite well towards the end. So I'm relatively happy with how it's gone. And if we go and have a look at the preseason predictions here, there's a little bit to be happy about. A winning record, second in the division, but maybe not the strongest division as the predictions are suggesting here. And if we just go down a little bit to look at the hitters, well, we have 2 in the top 10 there. Otani 3rd, Green 10th, and if those guys can put up those sorts of numbers and we do keep them all season, then it could be a very nice season for us. And they've got to stay fit as well. They both missed towards the end of last season time, didn't they, with injury. Pitchers, unsurprisingly, we don't have anybody, and if you want to have a look at the National League side of things, that's how that looks there as well. Yeah, I mean, Mets won the World Series last year. Looks like them, the Reds, and the Padres will be the 3 teams to beat. Now, how did everybody do? Let's have a quick look at our opening day rosters with the spring training numbers. If I can get the spring training numbers to come up, please, and thank you. There we go. Now, in the end, it was not too bad. Sasaki got off to a horrible start, and I was kind of thinking, what have I done? But he actually got really good towards the end of spring training. The new starter, Girton, was brilliant. Eknes was just continually disappointing. But you know that if we went and traded him, Cy Young Award winner, there'd absolutely be no doubt about that. He is good. He's just not showing us that he's good. There is a couple of new names in here, but the one name that you haven't seen is Josh Hartle. He is someone that we drafted. He has come into the Major League team. We had sort of one spot in middle relief that was left open with the departure of Marinaccio. So let's have a look at him. And we can see him here. He was drafted in a first-round pick in 2024, so 20th pick overall. Now, he is a starting pitcher. We're obviously putting him in the bullpen just to give him a little bit of experience. He's a left arm as well, which is good. Another left arm in the bullpen. You can never have too many of those. And his career to date will get all levels up. So you can see we're asking him to make a step up. He did play briefly in AAA, went back to High A. There's no reason he went back to High A, to be honest. It was probably a mistake. I should probably pay a little bit closer attention to that. He's not obviously the potential that he was when we drafted him. He would have been a 4.5, sort of 4.5, maybe even 5-star potential guy. But we're going to give him a chance in the bullpen and see what he can do. And if he wants to make the kick up to be a starting pitcher, then fantastic. As far as the hitters go, and again, we've got the spring training numbers up there. It's more or less as expected. James Wood is maybe the slight surprise to be there, and yeah, obviously Zion Rose, who we took up in the Rule 5 draft last time out as well. So we'll see how we get on here. I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be okay, but of course Green and Otani are the 2 big question marks. We can't afford to keep both of them. I'm wondering, even if we were to say trade Green, which would free up the 20-odd million he's on, if that would then give us the money to keep Otani. But then we've got to ask ourselves, is that actually worth doing when Ohtani is 33 and Green is, I think, 27? Now, one thing that I was sort of looking around the game, which I don't usually do, to be honest, and I did come across something, and it was the prospect pipeline. Now, I'll do my best to kind of show you this as best I can. This is just the Tigers, so you can see the prospect, where they are at the club and where they are overall. So you can see we've got quite a few decent prospects, but I mean, the potential for a lot of guys here is quite good. But what I wanted to bring your attention to is the ETA of when they arrive in Major League Baseball. Now, we've got Sasaki, obviously, who's here this year. Coakley, who we drafted last year, but he's 22, and you actually caught him up in spring training. He was a little bit hot and cold, so we'll see how he goes on this year. He might even come up this year. But look at the quality of guys coming up in expected to be ready in 2031. So the number one guy for us, we've also got our Edmilson Fernandez, the shortstop, 2031. We've got a good left fielder, a good left-handed pitcher. We've got another good second baseman here, a right fielder that might be ready next season, who could be quite good. So you go down these guys here. We've got a center fielder for next season. I think, just generally speaking, an outfielder. Molyneux, who actually gave some game time to in spring training. He might be ready this year. He was quite good as well. So you look down here, we've got another good guy, first baseman, who I think is amazing power hitter, but 2031. 2031 seems to be the time when we're going to get just a massive influx of really good young players. And they'll sort of be leaking through before that. But by 2031, we should have everybody raring to go in Major League Baseball. So I'm wondering if we take that into mind and kind of build towards 2031, which is 3 seasons away. But does that factor into our decision to let Ohtani go, knowing we've got a right fielder coming through, we've got a left fielder coming through, so do we let Green go and sort of build towards that? If you're looking for what sort of players they are, we can see here, this is the left fielder. Lacks the power, but he's a very similar sort of player to Riley Green. And then our right fielder here, he is more of a Riley Green style player. Actually, they almost look identical to Riley Green, don't they? So, yeah, I mean, we are going to be losing out on a little bit of power, but then this first baseman here, I mean, he's going to be the power. He can come in and be the new Ohtani. So, yeah, let me know what you think. I'm just not completely sure the best way to go about this season. But anyway, that's where we're at. We've seen pretty much everything now, so let's go and have a look at these opening day lineups for our hosting of the Texas Rangers.
On your feet, Detroit, and give a big opening day welcome to your Tigers as they take the field. At first base, it's Keston Hiura. At second base, it's C.J. Abrams. At third base, it's Errol Vera. The shortstop is Jose Lopez. In left field, it's Riley Green. In center field, it's Kyoto Takazawa. In right field, it's Shohei Ohtani. The designated hitter is Tony Vega. Behind the plate, it's Blake Hunt. And give a big Detroit welcome to tonight's starting pitcher, Brendan Girton.
Okay, so we can see them here. Of course, this is the first game of our new manager as well, Stephen LaRudd. So we'll see how he goes. Abrams will lead us off at second base. Riley Green bats second at third. Errol Vera bats third at third. We've got batting cleanup as Shohei Ohtani. Vega drops down to designated hitter at 5. Keston Hiura at first base bats 6. Lopez, the shortstop, bats 7. Takazawa, the center fielder, bats 8. Hunt, the catcher, bats 9. And it is new man Brendan Girton on the mound. He's up against Adrian Rodriguez for them. So that's going to be A-Rod versus B-Gur. I really do crack myself up sometimes. All right, let's get this season underway. Jordan Green will lead them off. Oh, we're straight into it. And Girton has picked himself up a fly ball. And it is caught out there by Riley Green. 4-1 away. In now will come Steven Duga. A 3-0 and a 4-pitch walk, which is a little bit less than ideal. So 1 on 1 out now for Corey Seager. A 3-2, a full count, so a second walk in a row. And it's Nat Lowe now with 2 on 1 out first pitch swing. That is a well-hit ball into left field. That is going to give the Texas Rangers the lead, is it? No. It loads the bases. And it is Garrett Mitchell. This is not the start to the season we were looking for. Loaded bases, one out, top of the first. That could be a double play, though. There's one. Oh, and there is two. That was very, very much required. And we managed to get ourselves out of that somehow. So Abrams will lead us off. A 1-2 pitch. And CJ grounds at the shortstop and will be thrown out at first for one away. All right, Riley Green now. I don't know what to do. I really don't want to let them go. It goes against, I think, because playing Football Manager, where you want to try and keep your best players. You don't necessarily get rid of your best. Oh, that is well hit by Errol Vera, and that is going to be a 2-out double at least. Is he going to look for a triple? No, he stands at second. I have a hard time getting my head around the idea of trading your best players for I don't know. I have a hard time being able to let players go, as Ohtani watches strike 3 to end the first. But yeah, looking at that prospect pipeline, 3 seasons seems a long way away, but it is. It's a lot of guys that we've drafted. It's a lot of the international amateurs that you pick up. And they're all sort of looking to come through at roughly the same time, as Girton could have another double play ball there. No, just one. So 1 out, 1 on for Braylon Minia. I'm not quite sure how you would say that. First pitch swing, that could be a double play ball. There's one, there's two. I tell you what, Girton is not bad at hitting up the old double plays, is he? So we go to the bottom of the second. It will be Tony Vega to lead us off. An 0-2 pitch. He set a club record for strikeouts last season, and he's already off to a great start on that this season to break that record. Keston Hura comes in now, a 1-2 pitch, a ground ball to third, and that will be 2 away. And we'll bring up Jose Lopez now, the shortstop. The reason he's batting ahead of Takezawa is just to try and break up lefties and righties in the lineup. You'll see here, if we have Takezawa, then we've got sort of 3 righties in a row. This just kind of breaks that up a little bit, which is why we've done that. Armando Cruz will come in now to face Girton. A first pitch swing, and that is up the middle, and it will be a third hit of the game for the Texas Rangers with the leadoff single. Green comes in now, 0 for 1 today. A full count and a walk. So 2 on, no one out for Duga. He walked last time up. This time he lays down a bunt, and he does advance the runners. So runners to second and third with 1 away. Corey Sager at the plate, who walked last time. And you've got to say, you probably want to walk him this time as well. We don't. There's a pop-up. Now Takezawa makes the catch. Can he stop the run from scoring? No. You wonder if he might have been better off going over to third there. So 2-out runner at third, but we are 1 run down for Nate Lowe, who is 1 for 1 today. A full count. And that should be out. Vera has it over to first. But we have fallen behind in the top of the third. Takezawa will lead us off. A 1-1 pitch. Takezawa gets a pop-up. And it'll be caught by the center fielder. And that is 1 away, bringing Blake Hunt to the pitch. To the what's it called? The plate. Jesus Christ, talk. Struck out on 3 pitches. That wasn't worth it, was it? All right, Abrams. He's 0 for 1. Can he not get the same start to the season he had last year, where, of course, he was horrid? If you're wondering where Xavier Edwards is as well, he's injured. Nothing too serious. It'll say like a month out or something. So he's missing the start of the season, as we have another leadoff hit. And I'm already getting the sense Girton is the sort of guy that gets himself into trouble. And sometimes it's good enough to get himself out of it. But you get the feeling that when he's off, he is really gonna give out some blowouts. All right, Rivero comes in now. He's 0 for 1. 1-out runner at first. The first pitch swing, and that is a ground ball to the shortstop and another double play. 3 double plays. This is, it's magnificent, but it's also a little bit scary that we've had that many base runners. Green will lead us off. A 2-2 pitch. Green hits it into right field. That's going to drop in for our second hit of the game. It'll bring up Errol Vera, who had our other hit so far today. A 1-1 pitch for him. And Vera, that could be a double play. Green, no, Vera's able to get there to stop the double. So 1 on, 1 out for Ohtani now. A 1-2 pitch. Ohtani holds off a ball, and Vera gets himself over to third, which is impressive because he's not the best base runner. Now, can Ohtani drive in this run? No, he strikes out for the second time. And then it'll bring up Mr. RBI strikeout home run himself, Tony Vega. A 3-1, and he grounds it down the third base line. That should tie the game. And Tony Vega, he's a, what's the word, enigma, isn't he? He just seems to lead us in everything. Double plays, strikeouts, home runs, RBIs. You just don't know what you're going to get with him. And Keston Hiura pops up an 1-0 pitch, ends the inning. And we'll go to the fifth, tied at 1. Minia will come back up 0 for 1 today. It's a 2-0 pitch. And that is a ground ball that should be out at first, and it is. 1 away for Armando Cruz, who is 1 for 1. A 3-1 pitch. Are we going to have another walk here? We are. He's walked 4. He's had 3 double plays. He hasn't struck out anybody yet. It's a full count on Green, the leadoff man. And he... Oh, now we've got a strikeout. There we go. 2 away. And it will be Duga, who is walked twice. So did he have a sac fly last time? A wild pitch gets the runner over to second. I don't know what to make of this guy already. He's just all over the shop, isn't he? That's a ground ball to first base. Ultimately, he's got the game, relatively speaking, under control. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like organized chaos. Lopez will lead us off. A 1-2 pitch. He slaps it. Oh, and he's robbed by the third baseman. 1 away. Takazawa now, who's 0 for 1. A 2-1 pitch. Takazawa hits it well. Has he hit it well enough? Left field is going back and around and makes a catch, getting towards the fence. And it is 2 away for Blake Hunt, who is 0 for 1. A 1-2 pitch, and our catcher sends one straight up into the air, and it'll be caught almost over second base by the shortstop, and that will end the 5th. So we go to the top of the 6th. Corey Seager will lead them off. He is 0 for 0 tonight. A walk and a sac fly, I believe. A full count. And that should be caught out there by Riley Green, and is indeed 1 away. Girton to face Lowe now, who's 1 for 2. A 1-1 pitch, and he's hit him, which seems a little bit unnecessary. Garrett Mitchell now 1 for 2. A 2-2 pitch, and a strikeout for Girton. 2 away, runner at first. Zavala comes in to face the new man, Reese Olson. So Girton, well, he's not done yet, is he? Because we do have a base runner that is his. A 1-1 pitch. Olson has got the line drive to second base. So Girton goes 5.2 inning, 1 earned run. He was fairly solid there, wasn't he? Let's see if the bullpen can come in and go on with it now as Abrams gets himself a first hit of the season. A leadoff single. Now, let's see if he can get himself some stolen bases here. Green, who's 1 for 2. Looks to lay down the bunt. It's a decent one. It gets Abrams over to second. And are we seeing the tactics of the new manager here? It is Vera now, who I think was 2 for 2. He's now going to be 2 for 3, as that is a pop-up that is caught out there in left field for 2 away. It's up to Otani now against the new man Tyler Boehm to try and drive in the go-ahead run. It's a first pitch swing. And Otani has popped it into right field. And we will go to the 7th. Tied at 1. 4 hits apiece. And Olsen will continue to Rivero, who is 0 for 2. Olsen, of course, came into our bullpen sort of through the year last season. Is that going to drop in? No, it's not. Green is there. And he was solid, which is why he keeps his place in our roster. Minia comes up now. A 1-0 pitch. One thing he does have is he's got really good movement. The other 2 attributes, you can see there, 50 and 45, aren't great, but he does have good movement. Armando Cruz, a first pitch swing. 2 out, no one on. That's going to get through. And it's going to be a 2-out single. And it's going to bring up Jordan Green, who is 0 for 2. I think with a walk, is he going to get another walk? Here he is. So suddenly 2 on, 2 out. And we just need to be a little bit careful here. Duga steps in, 0 for 1. A 2-2 pitch. Can Olsen sit him down? He can. So opening day, we stretch. Tied at 1. So bottom of the 7th, Tony Vega to lead us off. He has an RBI already. It's a 3-1 pitch, and he draws the walk. The worst possible man to have leading the... It's so slow. All right, Keston Hiura now. He's 0 for 2. A 0-1 pitch. Keston Hiura lays down a bunt. Vega, he was never going to get there. That was just never going to work. He is thrown out at second. Hura goes to first, and Lopez will come in 0 for 2 today. Oh, we've gone for the pickoff, and they got him. Well, this has gone south very quickly, hasn't it? A 3-1 pitch on Lopez. He draws a walk. So that's a little bit more like it. Let's see if Takazawa now can do something. There goes Lopez, and he is going to get there. All right, Takazawa now with a chance to drive in a run. It's a 1-2 pitch. Takazawa grounds at the second, and that'll end the 7th. To the 8th, Olsen will face Corey Seager, who is 0 for 1 today. Does have an RBI, though. And Corey Seager grounds at the third base. Vera has it over to first. And that is 1 away. Nate Lowe now, who's 1 for 2. We've got a full count on him and another walk. We've issued a few walks today, haven't we? Which is maybe concerning. So 1 out runner at first for Mitchell, who is 1 for 3. It's a full count, and it is another walk. Oh, that looked an okay pitch too. I thought that dropped in. So Holden Powell will come out to try and rescue this. 2 on, 1 out to face Zavala, who's 1 for 3. It's a 1-1 pitch, and that is popped up. Takazawa is there, and the runners will retreat. So 2 away now for Rivero, who is 0 for 3. Can we keep the O? It's a full count. And Holden Powell comes in and just does what he does. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 1. Blake Hunt to lead us off, 0 for 2 today, a 1-1 pitch. Blake Hunt gets a good one up the middle, and that is going to drop in for a leadoff single. It's like we're purposely getting the slowest man in the team on leadoff singles. Anyway, it is C.J. Abrams now, a 3-1. C.J. Abrams with a ground ball, and it's enough to get the runner over to second. For Riley Green now, who's 1 for 2. Can he drive in the run? A full count. And no, he strikes out, 2 away. It's going to come down to Vera, who is 1 for 3. A 2-2 pitch. Errol Vera has popped it up. And that'll end the 8th. And we are still tied at 1. Does Holden Powell come back out? No. Will Klein, back from injury, is going to face Minia, who is 0 for 3. It's an 0-1 pitch. It's probably a situation where you could have left Powell in, couldn't you, if it's tied? Rather than bring your closer in. Anyway, Armando Cruz now, who is 2 for 2. And what's he doing at number 9 with that sort of a game going? But he struck out there. Will Klein has lost nothing in his time away. And Green now 0 for 2. 2 out, no one on. Top of the 9th. He has hit that in towards center field. Takazawa on the bounce. So it's a 2-out single. It brings Dugat to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. It's a full count. And that is as... Ooh, I tell you what, we got one there, I think. But another strikeout for Klein, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Salgado that's going to pitch for them. It is Otani to lead us off. He's 0 for 3. It's an 0-2 pitch. Is Otani going to go 0 for 4? Well, here on opening day, he's not making a good case to re-sign him. And that's exactly what happens. Up comes Tony Vega now, 1 for 2. A 2-0 pitch. Tony Vega has walked it off! Bottom of the 9th, Tony Vega steps in, and 396 feet later, we have beaten the Texas Rangers 2-1. So he may have faded a little bit since last season, but he still has all of that power, and he just is a home run hitting machine. It is absolutely wonderful to have him on our side, I tell you, and minimum wage too, 33. We might get, we might get another 4 or 5 years out of this guy yet, just coming in, number 5, 6, wherever it is in the lineup, and just hitting home runs. Nothing else, just stand there and hit home runs for us, mate. Excellent, excellent stuff. So a perfect winning start to the season. That'll do it for today. We'll be back next time. We'll come back and we'll face the Toronto Blue Jays. We might even get to face Manoa. Who knows? If Manoa is starting any of these games, we'll come back for a Manoa start. Otherwise, it'll be game 3 of the series as per usual. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you think we do with Otani and Green. And I'll see you next time. Take care.